Before we get into today's episode, we just wanted to take a moment to pay tribute to one of the true giants, legends of Chelsea Football Club, Bobby Tamlin, who sadly passed away at the age of 84 this week. For younger Chelsea fans listening, he's one of those names that should never ever be forgotten because for 45 years he held that record as Chelsea's all-time leading goal scorer, scoring an absolutely incredible 202 goals for the club. And it's a record that stood until obviously it was eventually broken by Frank Lampard in 2013. And we talk about modern legends of Chelsea all the time on this show, but Bobby Tamlin was one of the players who helped build the foundations of what Chelsea Football Club is. He was a homegrown talent. He was obviously, as you can see, a prolific goal scorer. He picked up a League Cup whilst during his time at Chelsea, and he's one of the standout figures in a hugely exciting Chelsea side during the 1960s. And what's remarkable is just how young he was when it all began, because he made his Chelsea debut at just 17 years old, and he scored on that debut in front of more than 50,000 supporters at Stamford Bridge. And over the next decade, he became one of the most feared goal scorers in English football and just scoring goals at a rate very few Chelsea players have ever matched. And his record of 164 league goals for Chelsea still remains unmatched to this day. Guys, how would you describe Bobby Tamling and his legacy to the younger listeners who aren't aware of Chelsea from yesteryear?
Yeah, I mean, what a legend. Chelsea wouldn't be where they are right now without him. One of the all-time greats for sure. Genuine legend. Gets thrown about way too much these days, but he's a genuine legend of Chelsea. And yeah, I mean, to score 200 plus goals for Chelsea, crazy player. I wish I got to see him in person. Fortunately, I'm not old enough to, but
Mm.
seeing clips and stuff, I don't think you know. I just think he's a Chelsea legend, and I don't think you can look at Chelsea thinking about Bobby Tamlin.
What about yourself, Ollie?
I mean, yeah, a true legend of Chelsea and a true legend of the game. There isn't really much more to say about Bobby Tambling that he hasn't already said himself through the way that he played the game.
Mm.
And sadly, I wasn't old enough to watch him in the flesh, but having watched him back, you can tell how he was really deadly. I mean, even despite the fact that he Lampard did break his record, he still, what was it, 200 odd goals? But I think
Mm.
he still remains actually Chelsea's all-time top league goal scorer.
Yeah.
So, if you take off competitions and things, that is still a very important legacy for him to have.
Mm.
Um, yeah, made his debut at 17, I believe, which is just unheard of really these days. Captain at 21. Uh, I don't know. There's not really much more you can say. If you're one of the older guys in the fan base, and you've been watching Chelsea for decades, and you did see Bobby Tambling, at least on telly or live, tell us about him in the Discord.
Mm.
Tell us what he
Yeah.
was like, and tell us your experiences of Bobby Tambling, so we can all celebrate his life and his
Mm.
Chelsea career together.
100%. Before we do go into the episode, I want to just share this story because beyond obviously the goals and the records, what stands out from every story that's told about Bobby Tamlin is literally the man himself. Whether former teammates, supporters who have met him at Stamford Bridge, or Chelsea legends who obviously spent their time with him later in his life. And the word that just keeps coming up is gentleman. And he remained so connected to Chelsea so long after his playing days ended. And he was never happier. It's quite clear than spending time around the club, talking about football, talking about stories from his time as a player with the supporters, with the fan. It's just, he was an amazing man. And yeah, whether it was the former teammates, supporters, and such, it's yeah, as his family said in their statement, football was his life and Chelsea was his forever home. And obviously, Frank Lampard did surpass Bobby's goal scoring record for Chelsea, and them two formed a very close friendship. And in the foreword to Bobby's autobiography, Frank described him as a gentleman of football and Chelsea Football Club, and said that if you want an ambassador, someone who shows what the club means and who transcends the generations, he is the man. So yeah, today our thoughts are with Bobby's wife, Val, his family, his friends, and just everybody that who knew him. So Chelsea have lost one of its greatest ever players, but his place in the history of what this football club means to all of us is certainly secure forever. So rest in peace to Bobby Tambling.
Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
From Eden Hazard. Mata into a trap. What about that? Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's accepted by Hughes. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off.
Palmer, Joao Pedro, it's 3, and Chelsea are running away with the FIFA Club World Cup final.
Hat-trick hero, Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
it's time for the winners and losers of Chelsea's 2025-26 season. Oh, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I am your host, Mike, and I'm joined in a virtual room filled with lions. It is the Friday show on a Thursday, and today I can present Ollie, I can present Berth, and Chris has ducked today's episode. I can't believe it.
Part-timer, really, isn't he?
Yeah, I can't believe him.
I am shocked by it. It's just
You wouldn't see me and Ollie do that.
No.
You know what? It's the classic. What have you done for me lately? Yeah, he's been on so many episodes in a row, but he's now not appeared today, and that is what matters. Today matters, not yesterday. Today. What are we looking forward to though this weekend? What are we looking forward to? Come on, Ollie, deliver us from something. Deliver us.
Right. What am I doing this weekend?
Here we go.
I'm
not doing much. I'm not doing much.
You're right. I got nothing. I'm not doing anything this weekend. I'm just working, Mikey, because I work all the time.
I mean, that's always good. It's nice to earn a crust.
Well, people have got to get their organs harvested somehow.
Oh yeah, allegedly. Berth, what about yourself?
Yeah, so quite a good one, really. I've got a busy weekend. I'll pull through here, Ollie. Don't worry.
Thank God, Berth.
So I've got my football team's presentation tomorrow night, and then Saturday, my sister's renewal of vows.
Oh,
so
nice.
That'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be really good. It's a nice little weekend.
Renewing vows. How do we feel about that as a concept? Surely you have the wedding and you sort of just get on with it after that.
Well, as someone who was divorced, Ollie, it's one of them. Like, you got to take each chance when it comes.
Fucking hell.
Pick your battles is what you're saying. Yeah, fair enough.
Do you think it's just woke nonsense? Just
utter woke nonsense. I think she's just rubbing it in.
oh, it's just I'm feeling sorry for you. I just think that it's just not nice. No
That
consideration.
will be nice either way, but enjoy that.
See, my weekend, no bowling tomorrow. No bowling. No, not for this weekend.
Got to lick his wounds.
I won.
Yeah, but we all know why.
I might be heading to Shrewsbury for the weekend. Not for the weekend, just for the Saturday. That's our little adventure. Just depends on the weather. And if I get my way, which I'm driving, so I can actually pick the destination. I am definitely going to go and visit New Meadow, just because I can visit New Meadow, which is Shrewsbury Town's ground. I can be like, if I'm in a city and I am near a football stadium, I have to go see it.
Yeah, I'm like that.
Weird. I'm weird.
What's the roguest football stadium you've seen?
I see. It's not really it isn't a stadium. Well, it is. I saw Hereford FC's stadium, which is used to, obviously, when they were Hereford United before obviously liquidated. The only thing I find really weird is it's literally in the town centre. It's literally plopped next to a B&M. So it's in the strangest place. It's like, oh, you usually feel it's out of the town or the city, but it is literally in the centre. So, come on, Ollie, what rogue stadiums have you been to?
I've been to Cheltenham, like not the racing festival, the ground, and I've also been to Como's ground as well, which is really nice.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Right on Lake Como. It's a beautiful little place.
Oh, wow. Thanks for pissing all over my stadium there.
No, you're right.
I can't come back to that. That's brilliant. Oh, well, let us know, listeners. What stadiums have you been to that stand out? Be interested to know. There's no games of the weekend, not just because there's all friendly matches over the weekend, and I am not gonna. I mean, are you gonna watch England New Zealand at 9 o'clock, guys?
Is that tonight?
Am
That's
I
Saturday.
stuck?
Saturday.
Yeah, I'm
No,
not
I will
watching that.
not. Unless I've got absolutely nothing left to do, then yes.
I mean,
Which I will.
I
So,
say you will have nothing else to do.
so
Ollie,
actually, I
to be
will
fair.
watch it.
5:30 on Sunday. You could watch Denmark versus Ukraine. I don't recommend it because I've seen DR Congo 0, Denmark 0, and it was just another. I was like, this is shit. I can't even redeem it. This is. There's a reason we're not going to the World Cup because we're crap. And manager's crap. The director's crap. The players played like crap. At least Jorgensen kept a clean sheet. I'll give him fair play. Nice.
First time for everything.
Yeah, it's some positive can be found in even the deepest barrels of shit that I found myself in. Shevva shoutouts though, those are always top quality. No shit here. I've got Alex who said the overreactions to Katie McCabe were baffling. The women's team lost Kerr and Bright and needed another veteran with some trophies to her name and got someone who's won the Champions League and played at the highest level for a long time. McCabe is also the perfect candidate to pass the torch to Sawi over the next few years. So no objections from me. I think the kickback is because she's a player that's a bit of a shithouse. She did, of course, pull Thompson's hair, which is unacceptable, and it is one of those. I mean, it's very different, but I remember when Chelsea played Atletico, and it was pretty obvious we were going to sign Costa, and Costa and John Terry went at it on the pitch, and you just thought they've got to play together next year. And it's amazing how when they're on the same team, they were like best friends. And it's like people get over stuff very quickly on the football pitch, don't they?
Yeah, you got to, haven't you? At the end of the day, it's your job. Like, if you got hang-ups about your teammates, why are you going there?
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any issues. I think she'll just walk in and it'll be fine. I'm sure we're gonna see something on social media with her and Alyssa Thompson. I'm so sure of it. It's the perfect opportunity. I mean, I'm not going to defend what she did. I'm just saying that I think it will be pretty quickly forgotten about when they're teammates. And I'm pretty sure the club have consulted Alyssa Thompson before signing her. I don't think they're just going to do it. Just Chelsea women's run differently. I just feel that they will have, yeah. So I'm happy we've got a best left back in the WSL. He's in our team now. So, Ali, who said that intro is a keeper. Well done, host. Oh, well, you're very, very welcome. It was only for 1 week. It's only for 1 week. Obviously, today's episode had the regular intro, but I just could not resist when someone had suggested to do the Robert Sanchez intro.
When are we going to do ones with all of Lamon's best
Just no, I'm not. No. I'm not having this.
Because he is the better keeper, isn't he?
He's not.
Maybe?
He's just not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, he
I
is.
know. It baits me every time. I'm like, it's just not. El have 75.
He is the better keeper, though. Come on.
Shut your face. No.
He is.
Can't do it.
No. Go away. Go away. CFC Blue Luke from the Discord here. The Joao Felix signing of the season, sponsored by Damac, was intended to be ironic. I feel you've done the job with that in end of season awards. It's Delap or Buonanotte for me. Also, your predictions were sometimes great and sometimes comical. Chris winning predictions with Joao Pedro like he won Lion of the Week for the season. Just spamming Joao. It's too easy that. Up the pod. And my shot in the dark non-favourite to win the World Cup is Norway. Cue the horny says. Well, of course. Berth, to be fair, we didn't have you on the last show, so you didn't actually get criticised.
Well, like 20 before that.
Well, Berth, you had.
I was actually on the one before that.
Well, basically,
you know.
Berth, you got criticised because you picked Liverpool to win it. You then had City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, and Spurs in the top six. Yeah.
So what you're saying is I was slightly wrong.
Where's the ball knowledge gone?
It was. Yeah. It wasn't
That's
great.
that's not my proudest prediction. I'll be honest.
You had Joao Pedro and
Spurs.
Gyökeres as the best signings, one of two. You had
Spurs that
Sesko.
high.
I know, but you had Sesko, and everybody else but me picked Sesko, so that's okay. But then you had Calvert-Lewin. But I see the logic. I don't, as much as it's hilarious in hindsight, I totally see your logic there because he was injury prone. Obviously, the thing that most people mocked you for was two to watch the season, Wirtz and Reinders, and one of them was an awful flop. Well, probably. And the other is probably going to be sold by City this summer. So,
Rangers
yeah.
started well, though, to be fair.
Started very well, but
He did.
But
FPL-wise,
a
it was
good purple
wow.
patch does not a good season make.
No, it's true.
No.
Even Shevchenko scored on his debut for Chelsea.
There you go.
It was in the Community Shield, but and we'll finish with Patrick, who said, long-time listener, I try to wake up and watch every game in Australia. The final of every competition should be free to air. Had the telly on in the office at work, had the movie Species on. Never seen it before. Every time I looked up, a pair of bleep flapping around. Then the Champions League final came on, free to air. And guess what? More flapping around. So glad Arsenal choked. I said to my mate, this would be great if Gabriel skies this. Keep up the great work. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. See, Ollie, we have Aussie listeners who absolutely want to be heard. And rightly so. And nice that you got the Champions League free to air. I think that's pretty cool. But you're right, it should be absolutely free to air. I feel like I'm learning a lot about Australian football at the moment because I'm reading Tim Cahill's autobiography, and it's
As opposed to Aussie rules football, of course.
I can never get into that. It's just not a sport for me.
I don't get why the pitch is a circle.
I don't know much. I could literally what I know about Aussie rules football is the same as my predictions. I know nothing, absolutely nothing. Yeah, thank you, but thank you genuinely for your reviews, your thoughts, everything you put in the comments, everything you've put in our end of season survey. I haven't looked at them yet. Like I said, I let it time to breathe, and then I read them all. And
yeah, if you haven't, what is it still live?
It's still live. It's still live. Well, technically, the season before is still live. I never closed it.
If you have anything that you want to tell us about, rightly or wrongly,
yes, exactly. That's how we grow. You know,
get it in there. We can improve.
We all have criticism unless it's about ourselves, and then we don't want to know. But no, we use it we've used it so much to grow the show and improve the show, and I will look at them in the next week or so. So yes, thank you. And if you want your comment read out on the next show, potentially, drop it in the comments, and yeah, we'll might read it out on the next one. So with that, let's hit some news. Oh, let's check out the news you may have missed in the elevator. Chelsea news. Chelsea have entered the race for Zadok Johanna. Enzo Fernandez wants to join Real Madrid this summer. Chelsea have a long-standing interest in Morgan Rogers. Chelsea are looking for a centre-back, a 6, an 8 and a winger. Aliano Garnacho and JB Gittins have plenty of options to leave. Spanish sources have revealed Atletico hope to pay under 43 million for Cucurella, but Chelsea are starting their valuation at 61 million. Joshua Champong will seek assurances on his future development, having grown frustrated about lack of minutes last season. Chelsea's attempts to find a long-term front of shirt sponsor look to have been dealt a serious blow by a season in which they finished 10th. It's previously been reported that Chelsea had been holding out for a front of shirt deal worth 60 to 65 million. And finally, Liam Delap wants another season at Chelsea to prove his doubters wrong because he believes his injury. Whoa, hold on, Ali. Let's hear him the man out. He said he believes his injury impacted his whole season. Now, I have been there myself. When your knees are hurting, your elbows start flailing out, you start catching people in the face, and you just go, it's bad knees. Bad knees, and I understand.
The only thing he's going to injure is his elbows from smacking people around.
It's honestly, is there anything from the news you personally want to talk about? Because there's only one small little thing I want to bring up, just because it made me laugh.
Go on, Mike.
Yeah, go on, Mike. Yeah.
No, okay. It was we believe Ibrahima Konate is going to go to Real Madrid. We believe that's going to happen. However, this week I read the report that Chelsea have made a gentle inquiry into Konate's situation. And all I kept thinking about was, what is a gentle inquiry? What exactly does that entail? We've
like a nice pat on the shoulder.
Little stroke of the face.
Yeah, excuse me. Florentino.
If we've got like a transfer interest scale, if one being like we're long-term admirers and you got monitoring the situation, would that be below a gentle inquiry?
I think a gentle inquiry is above a monitoring the situation because it's like an action, isn't it?
Are we exploring a deal with an inquiry?
You see that's different.
Because then obviously after that you'd have initial talks, positive talks, you'd have advancing talks, and then I suppose concrete interest. Those turn into negotiations. Then you might get the Orney drop, or you might get a here we go.
All along with a percentage of
an 85% on the gentle inquiryometer. Oh, it's been a week for news. There's not been a lot there. Did you see anything that you're like, oh, I care about that, or this is just fodder?
I was going to say that like Cucurella for 43 million or whatever seems a bit low. I think.
Spanish clubs can't afford much. Yeah, I mean it's like Serie A. It's a new Serie A. I got no money. He actually, if they sell Alvarez, they've got quite a lot of money suddenly. So it's like,
I don't know if it's too much money, like if it's too little money.
2 years left.
2 years left on his deal. How old is he? 28.
Yeah, probably. Every player's 28 at our club, or 21. No, there's no in between.
So I don't know. Like he's probably he's played a lot of football is the thing for me in the last few seasons, and I don't know. I'm not sure he can necessarily get back to the heights of where he was. So for that, if you're looking at it in that context, 45 million, yeah, take that.
I'm talking about defenders. Well, left backs actually. There's rumours from Fabrizio Romano. We're not in talks at the moment, despite reports, but we're in and around the area about Andrea Cambiasso from Juventus. I saw some fans get a bit pissy over that because it wasn't the player they want. They want Lewis Hall, and I like Lewis Hall. I also like Cambiasso. Everyone talks positively about Cambiasso. I watch a fair few YouTubers and listen to podcasts of European football, and Cambiasso is always spoken about positively. But I think that's just the thing with respect here. I feel like if it's a player that you don't particularly like, or it's a player if you want a player that's not the player mentioned, suddenly that player is shit. So everybody wants Lewis Hall back, but because we're not looking at him, we're looking at another left back. Suddenly this other left back is shit, and I'm like, well, what do you want here? Do you want if the player is brilliant and he suits our team and he fits right in and we improve, I don't care who he is. I just care that he's good. That's all I want now. I don't want prodigy players. I don't want the next best. I don't want that anymore. I want a good player. That's all I want now. I'm so sick of potential.
Yeah, I think that's just modern day football, though. Modern day football fans, people will be a real big fan of one player and then be like, I don't actually want him. It's like it's just how the way of the world is right now. It's just so wishy-washy, so fickle that no one's ever happy. No one's ever going to be 100% on board with a player. It's just the way of the world. And it's ridiculous, really.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know what? We're going to head to winners and losers. Oh, my word. We haven't had a game, Mike. What are you doing? But it's the final time this season we head to winners and losers because we're not reviewing a game. We're going to review all 59 of them of Chelsea's 25-26 campaign.
We're going to be here a while.
We're going to be here a long while. So the first clip we're all going all the way back to when we played Crystal Palace. No, look, we're going to look at the course of the season. Obviously, we handed out loads of praise. We handed out loads of praise. No, we didn't. We handed out some praise, a lot of criticism. We handed a few flowers out. Some were dead flowers because we were very upset. And we also issued a little bit of criticism on a weekly basis. But we're going to look at the ultimate season review in our own classic format because we've got 3 winners of the season and 3 losers of the season. 59 games is a lot of football, isn't it? We played 59 games.
It is a lot.
Not all of them wins. We didn't win all 59.
Definitely win all of them.
Not many of them even very good.
No,
I think it's fair to say.
A lot of moments happened though. A lot of storylines, wasn't there? There was a lot of opinions on every. A lot of managers. So let's have a look. What made a lasting impression for good or for not good? So best of the best and some of the worst of the worst. Naturally, we start with winners, and I feel I don't know how we've all walked into this because some of us might pick moments, players, things. I don't know. My first win of the season, I went Joao Pedro.
Yeah, he's on mine. Yeah. I think you got Joao Pedro. Yeah, 100%.
I mean,
no, he's not on mine.
What?
How?
Have you put lemons on it? Have you got lemons on it?
Yeah, I've put lemons in instead.
Bastard. What are you doing?
Only because he has been very good over the whole season.
And fuck off.
No. No, look.
He has been very good over the season, but I don't know. For me, other people, you'll see why. I've got my reasons.
Look, I don't think it's I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that we looked completely different when he arrived during the Club World Cup. It's just mad how he came off the beach on holiday and then just like, I'm just going to take this tournament by storm. Fair play, mate. Absolutely key moments throughout the season. And he was a player who just changed the game. You know, he produced something out of absolutely nothing. I don't think it was just the goals for me, because obviously he found the net 15 times out of 35 Premier League games. No penalties, no penalties there. And you throw in, obviously, he made 8 assists. So in total, 23 goal involvements in those 35. And I think that's absolutely outstanding. And I still see no reason why he should not be heading to America for the World Cup. I think Carlo's absolutely bottled that to pick. I love Neymar. I think Neymar was absolutely a joy to watch when I was growing up. However, he's not fully fit. You've picked a nostalgia pick. You've wasted a member of your squad on a nostalgic pick instead of a proper player.
I don't mind him taking Neymar, but you should have dropped someone else.
But he's not
Joao
fit.
Pedro.
I just don't see the logic here. He's not fully fit. What's he
You
going
know,
to do?
he's going to buoy up the team, isn't he? He's going to be the guy to say, listen, lads, this is for Brazil. You know, believe in me, believe in us, etc., etc. But you'd rather a striker who could score.
You know what's really funny? England's version of that is Jordan Henderson.
Yep.
That's
Neymar is Jordan Henderson.
That's the leader that we've got. Not Neymar, Jordan Henderson.
Jordan Henderson. Oh, well, look, with Joao Pedro, I loved what I saw. The movement he had, the link-up play. There was so many times this season. He was a winner for me because of his ability to just drag a defender out of position, which then obviously created that space around him. And he just made us look not just dangerous, but more dangerous and more unpredictable. And he was fun to watch. He was the overhead kick goal. It won goal of the season for us, rightly so. It was again obviously against Forest, and it was just so perfect. Where it's a moment you just sit there and just go, applaud it, because you can't believe you've just seen that. It was world class, and it had everything that you think in a classic Brazilian player: flair, technique, audacity to even attempt it. So I think that overhead kick sums up his season. Just perfect, really. So I think when we needed a lift, he provided it. He was one, for me, he wasn't just one of Chelsea's best players this season. I think he was the reason whether we won or lost in the terms of the goals column. Berth, winner for you. Tell us.
Yeah, I just think all round he was our best player this season. I think he made things happen when we really needed someone to sort of produce a moment, produce a goal. He was the one to do it. The goal against Notts Forest meant absolutely nothing, but still an unbelievable goal. I think he holds the ball up really, really well. I think he's the type of striker that always suits Chelsea, that sort of guy that can hold up the ball, strong, quick, almost Drogba-esque. He's not Drogba. I'm not, saying he is, but that sort of player. And yeah, I just thought all round he was our best player this season. And I think he got 15 goals in the Prem, was it?
He had 15 goals, and 8 assists.
Yeah, so I mean that's a good return first season for somebody at Brighton who wasn't necessarily the most prolific. I think that's a very good season. I think the game for me that really proved he was a really, really good player for us was that Napoli game where he produced a worldie of a goal to equalise from outside the box, and then he showed the composure and the mentality to just go one-on-one with the keeper and win us the game. I think that for me proved to me that Joao Pedro is a class act for us. And yeah, I think he was just our best player this season. I don't think it was close either in the end, but yeah.
And it was his best season in the Premier League since obviously his debut for Brighton 2 years ago, because he got 20 goals in 40 games for them. But obviously a fair few of those were penalties, and that's when people were going, he's a penalty merchant, he stat pads. And he had a down season in the second year for Brighton. He only got 10 in 30. But this season, he really, and I understand the worry. I was concerned. I thought, is it not too sure if this is a good move? My word, I love being wrong when it's like that. Absolutely outstanding. Ollie, first winner for you. Who of this season?
I've gone with Yoel Hato.
I can understand that.
Okay, I don't mind that.
Because Joao Pedro definitely deserves to be on a list here today, and he's on both of yours in terms of the winners. And truth be told, he well could have been on mine as well. I was just thinking, he's definitely made the step up, and he's definitely one of those players who seems to get better the better players are around him. But for me, also there was that sort of blip in the season for a couple of months around Christmas time. I know nobody was doing very well, but we really needed someone in those moments. And as much as he did step up last season, he didn't step up then. Hato is kind of done the opposite in terms of Pedro started well and maybe he fell off a little bit as the season went on. Whereas Hato started really, really badly. And over the season, he grew from strength to strength. This is a kid who was captain at Ajax at 19. He's clearly got the mentality to push far here. And by the end of the season, we've all been saying that, he's one of the first names on the team sheet. We've all been saying that, if Cucurella does go, he's a good understudy for that position. He's got a lot of minutes this season, playing centre back, playing at left back as well. I think Xabi Alonso is going to really like him. And so he's almost like, for me, he's a winner because he's kind of cresting at the perfect time for the new manager to come in.
Yeah, it's a good show. Absolutely. Yeah, he had a really great end to the campaign. And it showed why we signed the young Ajax captain. So that's always good when you've got, Ajax produced so many top quality players, and let's just be grateful we signed Hato when we did, because hopefully he's going to have a massive, massive sophomore season. But who was your second choice for the winners of the season?
This one might be controversial just due to how it's probably going to end, but I'm going to say Enzo Fernandez.
He had a great season.
No, I agree with you.
I can't.
He could be
no
up there.
one. That's the thing. If he leaves, yeah, okay. But I can't. You can't take away he had a good season, because he did.
He had a good season, and like Joao Pedro, he is the one that you look to when you needed a moment. Look at the amount of times that he provided for us. FA Cup semi-final, goal against West Ham. Numerous goals he scored for us this season were important goals. And I think he was probably second behind Joao Pedro for our best player. And for him, he's now probably going to get moved to Real Madrid, which is the move that he's always wanted. So for him, all round, you probably got to say it's a good season for him. And I don't think anyone... he's probably hit his limit for what he's going to do at Chelsea now. At the end of the day, and he wants to win trophies. He wants to play in Champions League, and rightfully so. He's a player that can play in the Champions League, and he wants to win trophies, and he shouldn't knock that. I don't think it's a snaky move from him. Why would you not want to go to Real Madrid at this point when we finished 10th and they've got Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, players like that, and they're rebuilding. I think for me, Enzo Fernandez is a winner. Which again could be controversial, but I've said it. So
yeah, I think even if we'd have finished Champions League, I think he would have gone, because the problem is when a player's flirting the way he was with Real Madrid, it's pretty much an open and shut case. It's just about if a club can agree a fee, and at the end of the day, we understand. Chris has mentioned it so many times. A lot of South American players grow up wanting to play for either Real Madrid or Barcelona.
Exactly.
That is the dream. It sucks we're not bigger than Real Madrid or Barcelona. I don't think, realistically, any club in the UK will ever be as big as those two names. It's just the reality of it, and it sucks, because there's always that risk at Chelsea, at Man United, at City. It doesn't matter where, that Real Madrid or Barcelona could come and poach your players. It's a bit of a shame. My second winner it's my love for Robert Sanchez. I'm not even joking.
You haven't.
I have put him on here. And listeners wonder if this is a bit.
I'm disgusted.
I couldn't give a shit. Look, people wonder if I've lost my mind. I'm serious. That winner is my love. This relationship didn't happen overnight. Don't get me wrong. It started during the Club World Cup. He caught my eye every game. It was like going on another date every 90 minutes. I thought, I'm learning a little bit more about this guy. Then obviously the Club World Cup final happened, and I thought, this is serious. This could go somewhere. Let's get exclusive. And the season went on. We moved in. We bought a dog, got married, and then life was pretty good. And then the January arrived. There was that new neighbour moving in next door. That was Liam. I knew there was something wrong. I thought, this is going to jeopardize our marriage. And it looked like it was about to destroy the entire thing. But obviously we weathered that storm. We got through the rough patch, and Robert and I, we're strong. We're best mates, and in all seriousness, this isn't a bit, because I was highly critical of him throughout parts of the previous season, and he deserved that criticism. There were mistakes that absolutely had to be called out. But after that Club World Cup, I found myself looking at his game differently. And I said it before, I've stopped judging a dog on how well it could fly. I started judging it on how well it could bark. And there was too much conversation around Sanchez on what he isn't rather than what he is. And has he made mistakes? Yes, of course he has. Goalkeepers do. But apart from that red card against United, and obviously that bizarre benching that destroyed him under Rosenior, I know this was his best season in a Chelsea shirt. Without him, I think we finish much closer to Spurs than we do to where we ultimately ended up. And I've just grown to appreciate what he can do. And he kept showing up. He kept putting himself out there. He kept playing through the noise that was there. And I think people just ignore the great saves he made, the great commanding performance, because he did have great games. And the points he won Chelsea throughout the campaign have to be remembered because he did win us points. Sir Alex Ferguson once said a great goalkeeper is worth 15 points over the course of a season. I think Sanchez won us 8. I would say 8 or 10. And again,
I would say 5.
No.
Okay. I'll bring up games that he was good in, like really good. Cup competitions, huge reason we made the FA Cup final. Absolute huge performance against Leeds. Because we weren't the greatest team, but he put in a good showing. He had an absolute blinder against Napoli. And in the Premier League, he was the reason we didn't lose games against Bournemouth and Arsenal back in November and December.
That's maximum 6 points.
But it's still points. It's still points that the other season he wouldn't have. He's the old school goalkeeper. He's a shot stopper. He ain't going to be your Edison. He ain't going to be Manuel Neuer. He's Robert Sanchez.
He's not even Lamens, mate.
Mikey, honestly, I know you say that, and I've been there live this season a few times, and he's played really well. And I'm not going to knock him too much because he has actually been okay. But how many times has he lost us points this season from being beaten near post, from giving the ball away with his distribution, from flapping at the corner? Come on.
I don't think it's as many as people think. I
think it's just less than it was the season before the season that's just gone.
The bar is really low.
The bar is so low. Though.
I'm going to stand by it. I think he's comfortably one of the better keepers in the Premier League. He's one of the most underappreciated.
You're talking shit.
Yeah, look, I'm not expecting to convert everyone. I'm not. And people are probably laughing. Fair play. Enjoy it. I respect him. I think he's been absolutely outstanding for us. I really do. And I'll stand by that. I'll stand by it. Ollie, who's your second winner?
I've gone with Andre Santos, which might be a bit of a weird pick. Because when he has played, he's been okay. He's not been amazing. He's not been awful. He's been okay. But let me ask you one question. How much did you expect him to play at the start of this season?
No, yeah, totally agree.
That is a solid shout, yeah.
Right? Totally, and how much did he end up playing? He ended up playing a lot because you can't rely on Lavia for anything. Asugo got himself injured as well. Enzo's been, wishy-washy with his commitment. Caicedo is running to the ground. And Andre, every time, has been the guy there to step in. And when he has played, he's done fine. He's slotted in, no problem. I think from where he has come from that disastrous loan to Nottingham Forest, then he went to Strasbourg, and now he's with us. He seems to be sort of really making strides in this Chelsea team, and I hope that he's going to be a big part of the season next season. He's got a lot of a weird group of players, group of fans who really don't like him, and I just don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Yeah,
especially because he was like 10 million or whatever. He was so cheap.
Just bizarre. I don't understand why people are so happy for him to be one of the potential sales. I just don't spoilers for when I do keep sell loan. Santos is the keep because I don't get why you wouldn't want that. He's such a young player, and he's like Hato in the sense of he's had leadership put upon him early in his career, and he's taken it so well. Why would you not want a young leader like that? That's who you want. Who would you trust to look after your house if you were going away on holiday? Andre Santos or Aliana Garnacho? I'm just saying.
There you go.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Berth, who did you pick for the third winner of your season?
Tough one. I've gone Esteval.
Yeah, he's on mine as well. Maybe didn't play as much as we would have liked to see him, but every time he was the one shining light in this season of shit, wasn't
he? He's the player that gets fans off their feet. He's that player. He's the one to make fans excited to want to watch Chelsea, to see what he's going to do next. He talked about the goal against Barcelona, the winner against Liverpool, goal against Palace. He's got goals. He's proved he can do it in the Prem. He's only going to get better. He's only 18. He's going to go from strength to strength. And I think as soon as he bulks up as well, he's going to get used to the physicality. He's a really important player for us. And I think the signs are there this season. to prove that he's going to be a genuine world-class talent for us, and to be that star player, and to be the player that just does something out of nothing for us.
You know what? My final winner, it's not a player, it's hope. Because at the end of that season, I don't believe anyone listening sat at the bridge or even watching across the globe would have been excited. I don't think you'd be even intrigued. You wouldn't even be curious about what next season has in store. You wouldn't care because you'd go, it's going to be some of the same shit. However, I think once Xabi Alonso was appointed, our tails went up. We were up. We were like, okay, what's this? Because when you're in this sort of situation, football clubs that are in the doldrums, fallen giants, they need hope. They need something to cling on. And every successful era has been built on promise. So for us to appoint Xabi Alonso, someone of that pedigree, I think that's the start of something. We start to think, have Clearlake actually learnt from their mistakes? And you look at what he's achieved in football and how his teams line up, they play, and the standards he sets. It's hard not to be excited. This isn't Real Madrid. The players have got some ego here, but they're not Real Madrid ego. They can't go, well, I've won a Champions League. No, you haven't. You've won nothing. You've won a Conference League. Okay, Chris would tell me that's not a real competition. The Club World Cup is not a real competition. Chris is basically going to be doing a Brian Clough and just saying, throw your medals in the bin because you don't deserve them. So this squad is so young. It's so young. And for the first time in a while, I think we've got genuine optimism here about what's to come next. And the talent's there or thereabouts. And now we've got a manager who gives supporters a reason to believe that this next chapter could be very good. And I think after everything we've been through under Clearlake, I think hope is a pretty good winner to end on.
Yeah. That's a good shout.
Yeah.
So any extras to your winners before we go to losers?
No, none for me.
Ollie, have you not got another winner, Ollie?
No, I've only got 3 and 3.
Yeah.
What ones did you have?
It was Andre Esteval and
Oh, of course you had Esteval as well, didn't you? Sorry, my bad.
I literally forgot who I've put first. Hato.
We remember you, Hato. We do. Right, well, we go from winners to the final time. We go to losers. My first loser is that next door neighbour that moved in and nearly broke my marriage up. Liam Rosenior.
Yeah,
Has
he's
to
on
be.
mine.
Before anyone starts as well, he's not on this list because he was a bad Chelsea manager. We all know how poor
he could
was.
be on
He
the
could
list
be.
because he was a
He
bad
could-
Chelsea manager.
I think the reason I'm putting him on the list is I genuinely think taking the Chelsea job has damaged his managerial career, at least in this short-term window, because I've got to praise him. This was a manager who had built up a really strong reputation. At Strasbourg, obviously, he posted a points per game record of 1.75. Before that, he took Hull City near to the brink of the playoffs, and many felt he was harshly dismissed for what he achieved with such little resources. And he was viewed as he was one of the brightest young coaches around. This was a guy who, could he be an England manager one day? Could he take a top 6 job? And then he came to Chelsea. And this was a Chelsea squad that was way more talented, way more expensive. And on paper, being really honest, so much stronger than what he'd ever worked with before. And his points per game record with Chelsea crashed. It was 1.31. And the football was poor. The team looked absolutely all over the place. And we looked worse than we did under Potter. And the players never bought into him. Never bought it. And the fans never really connected with him. And all these press conferences we saw, it just felt like he was digging himself into a deeper hole, unfortunately. And the numbers are awful. I can't believe I found these numbers that we probably never mentioned them over the season. Maybe we did. 13 Premier League games he had in charge of us. We kept 1 clean sheet. In them 13, we had 5-game losing streak. And we had 0 goals scored during that run. And we conceded 11. I mean, that is...
Crazy.
That when you look at the managers of Chelsea's modern era, so we're looking at the last 26 years. He's not amongst good company. He's posted a win percentage of 47.8. Villas-Boas posted 47.5. Graham Potter managed 38.7. So you're third worst. But I think you need to look at the context because Potter was in charge for more games and he won more matches overall and he conceded fewer goals. He conceded fewer goals despite being in charge for more games.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. Of course, if he's got a bigger sample size, so he's got more chance to win games. So if you park that and think, Mike, that's not fair. No, it's not. But to concede fewer goals, and you say Potter was worse, Mike. I remember that. It was awful. The records don't. I mean, the biggest problem here isn't that Rosenior failed, because managers fail all the time. The problem is that other clubs will now look at him differently. They'll question the judgment. They'll question his methods. And they'll, more than any of that, what's the worst thing is they'll question whether he can command the respect of a dressing room. That is the worst part of it. And I thought at the time he took the Chelsea job too soon. And it could have set his career back years. And I genuinely feel sorry for him. I don't know how he could have got out of that situation. If he didn't want to take the job, he seemed to want to take the Chelsea job. You could say, oh, Bluco could have sacked him. I don't think even they're stupid enough to sack a good manager at Strasbourg to benefit. I don't see what that achieves, because then you've got to find two managers for two clubs. I just feel so sorry for him in that sense. I really, really do. Was he on both your lists?
He's on mine.
He actually wasn't on mine. I've only got players on mine.
That's justified. What about why Berth?
I mean, yeah, I wanted it to work so bad for him because he just genuinely seemed like he loves football, loves managing, stuff like that. He didn't help himself with some of the things he said. The players just looked like they didn't respect him. He went on a horrendous streak. The games he did win, we should have won anyway.
Yeah.
Tactically, just out. He was like a fish out of water. It was really poor. And like I said, I feel bad for him. But the reason why we're 10th and we finished 10th was mainly down to him. And yeah, it just didn't work. And when you lose a dressing room, you've got no hope anyway. So yeah, he had to be a loser for me.
We did. It was crazy because when we beat Napoli, you wondered, you thought, hello, it just completely collapsed. It capitulated. Ollie, who was your first loser of the season?
Liam Delap.
Yeah, that's totally justified.
I mean, is there anything more to say than that? Every time I say Liam Delap, everyone just thinks, oh, right? Like, nobody wants this guy around. Like, he's come in his first season. There was a lot of hype, even despite his price tag, but with a lot of people saying, the way he bullies players with the back to goal, he's a lot like Costa, elite finishing, all of this stuff. And then he starts playing for Chelsea and he can't string two passes together. He can't trap a bag of sand. He can't do anything other than run the channels occasionally and elbow people in the head and get himself sent off. But he for me is the epitome of the failure that was last summer's transfer window. And we've been living with that mistake all this season, and hopefully we don't have to live with it anymore.
Yeah, I can understand. I can understand that. I'm gutted Chris isn't on here today because he would love my second loser. I've got the 2025-26 transfer window.
Yeah, I've got signings as my second loser.
I'm really glad we're on the same page, Berth, because when you read the list back, and I will read the list back, it's gonna hurt. So this is the full window. Joao Pedro, Jamie Gittins, Aliana Garnacho, Esteval, Joel Hatto, Liam Delap, Dario Asugo, Mamadou Sarr, Kendry Pais, and Facundo Buonanotte. There's a lot of potential there. A lot of underwhelming reality as well. I mean, three of those players, we've got genuine pillars to build around. Joao Pedro, Joel Hatto, Esteval. Yeah, 3 thumbs up from me. However, the rest, like, with respect, Gittins spent most of the season injured and barely impressed when he was available. Nice goal against Wolves in the League Cup in front of me. That was nice of him to do. Asugo struggled with injuries. Mamadou Sarr was recalled only to spend half his life of the season looking at the pitch from the bench. Liam Delap was about as useful as shaving foam for a Wookiee. Kendry Pais continues to just leave question marks because wherever he goes, clubs don't seem to want him to stay. River Plate are the latest to sort of go, we might cancel this loan deal. That's a concern. And Buonanotte, he just feels like an answer to a football quiz question. He does. Who did Chelsea sign on loan in 25-26? We spent 339 million euros, guys. You'd expect something, but we're sitting here talking about 3 successful signings. That's absolutely dreadful. Like
Yeah.
339 million on 3 players that we can go, yeah, they're good. Like, I love Mamadou Sarr. I think he could have such a good career at Chelsea, but we barely used him. I mean, Alonso might use him. I hope so. But we got, and now what's even what you can tell when a signing is bad when we're now talking Gittins and Garnacho. Yeah, they're on the market. Oh, well, that's a total fail then. We've absolutely failed.
Yeah.
Berth, a loser. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, look at the signings we made. I know Joao Pedro did really well and Esteval to a certain extent, but other than Joao Pedro, really, none of them exactly set the world a lot. I know Esteval was on my winners list, but it was only glimpses and it was like the potential where I put him on the winners. Hato did okay. I'm not going to say he was a world beater by any means, but he did okay. But the rest of them, I mean, you look at Garnacho, horrendous. That was never going to go well. I mean, the attitude on him. He got worse as the season went on. I mean, when I saw him at Man U, I didn't think he was that bad. I thought he was an actually okay player. Technically, I thought he was quick. I thought he was technically very good. Had a good goal in him. Didn't see any of that at Chelsea. Delap, horrendous. Looked like a shell of a player that he was at Ipswich. Never really ever looked like scoring in the Prem. One Premier League goal from a number 9 is awful. Disciplinary wise was terrible. He's got a yellow card. Looked to like beat people up on the pitch. It was just poor all round. And then the rest of them have barely kicked a ball for us. So what was the point almost? I know we've got this model of building for the future. Well,
it is the future.
And
look what we've built.
Well, yeah, we finished 10th. A transfer window is supposed to strengthen your squad for this season. As well as the future, yeah, don't get me wrong, you are supposed to build for the future as well, but you also need to build on season by season, and we just haven't done that, and we've gone backwards. It comes
to something that Jamie Gittins had one good game all season, and it was against Wolves in the League Cup.
Well, and did he have a good game? I know it was a good goal, but did he have a good game?
It was a good goal, and he did create he set up 2 goals. I thought he was all right. I thought he was good in that game. You have to take into account that you're playing a weaker Wolves team who they had bigger priorities, which was obviously the league. I kind of want my players to have more than one good game a season, and that good game being against a weaker Wolves team. Yeah. Ollie, who was your second loser?
Second loser for me was Romeo Lavia.
Yeah.
I mean, how could he not be a loser? He's played about 10 minutes his entire Chelsea career. Just constantly with the injuries, and then he comes back and he picks up a knock and just, this is a guy who we bought for, what was it, like 50 odd million, 60 million quid, something like that. And, and he's barely played. He's barely played at all. Still hasn't completed a 90 for us after signing
mad, isn't it?
What, like 3 seasons ago? My biscuit bet is he never will.
What the thing is with Lavia? The thing with Lavia is as well, every time he comes back from injury now, he looks less and less sharp.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He looks
it's getting
now.
Worse. Yeah. And for me, it's just that it sounds harsh for a player, and it's not his fault because of the injuries, but he's just kind of a lost cause. I think at this point, I would be really shocked if he saw any minutes next season from us, whether he was fit or not.
He's got such talent, but his body just doesn't let him, and it could be another what if. My final loser was something we actually said in the news slightly. Front of shirt sponsor or lack of one. I have to put it in here. It's obviously they're not a player, they're not a manager, they're not a transfer, but the front of our shirt, the fact that nobody seems willing to pay to put their name on it, at least not for more than 5 minutes, because obviously, let's be honest, we got that random AI firm. Look, this is our 4th consecutive season now without a permanent long-term sponsor, and I just find it embarrassing. I really do, because I know we've had Infinite Athlete, DeMac, IFSAI.
It's just not real companies.
Ollie, they're forgettable partnerships. No, I promise you, give it 12 months. If I say to a listener, Chelsea fans are more tuned in. However, if I say to you, name our last 3 shirt sponsors, you'll be like,
I'll be like, I think Domac was one.
Look, that's the thing. Look at what I just did. If it wasn't for in my script that I wrote down IFSAI, not a single person would have gone, IFSAI. No, you'd have gone, it was an AI firm. That's the point. Forgettable. This is Chelsea. This is absolutely a big London club, one of the biggest in the world, and we're a global brand. People recognise our badge. They recognise our shirt colours. We have an enormous fan base. We have such a thriving history from all the way back from 1905. We've won the Club World Cup, and somehow every summer we're scrambling around trying to find someone to put their name on our shirt. It's baffling for me because we were told last season we're not in the Champions League. We're not in the Champions League. That's why we're struggling. Okay, we qualified for that. Can't secure a spot. Can't secure a sponsor. Just can't do it. And then no one's matching us. Okay. We've just won the Club World Cup. We are now the best team in the world according to this tournament. I still can't secure a sponsor. Can't do it. I mean,
incredible, isn't it?
It's
it really
outstanding mismanagement in a world where you see elite clubs signing huge long-term commercial agreements. Somehow we still look like we're operating with a giant to-let sign across the middle of it. This shouldn't be this difficult. How can you keep? Well, Clear Lake said we were poorly mismanaged on the business side. Yeah, keeping that trend up.
Yep.
I'm pissed off. Ollie, who was your final loser of the season?
Wesley Fofana.
I knew someone would say it. I knew it.
Absolutely fucking sick of him. I think I said this the last time I said about him. I'm sick of everything about him. And if I didn't want to, if I had any inclination that he would be leaving this summer, it would be too soon. And maybe he would have even been off of this list for it. But it's like he wants to stay and fight for his place, or rather, he probably just wants to fight and collect his paycheck, I suppose, at the end of the day. Because Lord knows that this is the last big paycheck he's ever going to get from a club. No one is going to pay him anything close to what he's been making at Chelsea. So I can understand him wanting to stay, but he is the perfect example of everything wrong with the club at the moment. You know, overpriced, overrated, injury prone. He's a diva. His attitude on and off the pitch is a joke. His efforts are abysmal. Other than having 6 good months with Colwill 2 years ago, people are still holding on to that. He's not the same player anymore. You've got to let him go.
It still fucks me off because obviously we've been through it so many times, the speeding offences. But just in case, just so I can say this yet again, when he got caught doing 54 and a 40, obviously it was in the middle of the morning and it was an automatic camera. But his driving record at the time showed that he was disqualified. He was a non-UK licence holder. And he was disqualified until the 13th of May 2027 because of dangerous driving. And fuck all. It meant fuck all. It did because you went out, did it? You didn't care. You didn't care about people's safety. You didn't care about your own safety. And it still winds me up because it's like you could have seriously hurt someone. We've all seen the footage when he was on that road and he undertook. I just don't like that attitude and that arrogance. I just dislike it so much. Berth, who was your final loser of the season?
The board.
Fair enough.
Because I've had another season where it's not gone right, and now it's the third or fourth season they've been in charge, and again we've gone backwards. Signings have been poor, managerial points have been poor. Now at the front of shirt sponsor, on and off the pitch, there's just always things going on. Transfer bans knocking about. It's just not gone well again. And I get it, the Xabi Alonso appointment is a good appointment, but is it going to get better? I hope so, but is it going to get better or is it going to get worse?
We hope. No, it won't get worse.
Yeah, so I just thought that would be a good one to end it on because, they are one of the reasons why we're in the position we are. And yes, that had to be a loser.
What did we do for emojis? Because I was going with the screaming emoji. I felt myself screaming more than I should have this season.
I just went with vomit emoji. This whole season made me sick, and I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went for the same one. To be fair, actually, no,
fair.
I'll go different. I'll go for the skull emoji.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's killed us all. Yeah.
I had some season winners and losers in the Discord. Yanis gave for winners no one. And for losers, they went with everyone. And
It's a good summary.
It's good. Walt went with Joao Pedro, Enzo, and Hato as winners. Losers, Garnacho, Delap, and anybody who watched Garnacho and Delap. I think that is more than that's actually a really good set of winners and losers. That is, it's absolutely class. CFC Brent had Hato as a winner, the sporting directors as a winner because of getting Xabi in and somehow diverting our attention away from the impacts of their incredible failings. Nicely done. I like that. He had also Todd Bowley because Igbali made him look like a sporting genius. He had Rob Sanchez as a winner because Mikey has done a pretty fine job of convincing us that we shouldn't believe our eyes. Thank you. Chris as well is a winner. I see what you're doing there. I'm going to still take it. Chris, because he keeps getting better and better every year, and though not always dead right, still provides the best raw, unfiltered, and real analysis of this football club.
Chris is like a fine wine. He's only getting better with age, and that's important because he is old.
Yeah, fucking hell. Losers, you had Enzo Maresca, you had Enzo Fernandez, you had sporting directors and Igbali for choosing Rosenior. You also had Axel Disasi, because can you imagine being so bad as to not make it into this defence? Oh, wow. Oh, bloody hell. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Share your winners and losers, please, in the Spotify comments, because I'm sure there's so many. There's so many. We do have a Christmas questions from the Discord. And well. Doc Water has got, what does everyone have such a hard on for Van Heck? We saw Spurs made a move today.
Does it all, doesn't it?
I like him. I don't like him at 70 million.
He's a good defender. Got a mistake in him, but he is good.
He's proper Chelsea.
Yeah, like
he's okay. He's just not what we need.
No,
yeah.
We seem to be look. At the end of the day, he plays for Brighton, and everyone we've signed from Brighton has been a hit. So I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just saying it's just a fact.
I think he would be good for us. I do think he'd be good for us, but 70 million's a lot of money.
Are we all in? Are we all out on signing him for 70 million?
I was never in on signing him for like 50 million. I don't know. I think I would be paying 30 million for him maximum.
Okay. Well, fair enough. JP, are we going to get the Cole Palmer from 3 seasons ago back? It depends, because if Enzo does fuck off, then there's a number 10 role there if he wants to play.
And if Jackson comes back, he gets his run.
Yeah, this is the thing. Jackson really plays well with Cole Palmer.
Nicolas Jackson.
I'm looking forward to seeing Jackson back. I think he's a good player. He scored, was it 20 goals in back-to-back, something around them or something? Or 10? But it was still a good record. I haven't got it in front of me. Why did we get rid of him? Well, we do know, Maresca. That's why.
I think Joao Pedro will benefit from
anymore.
Jackson.
Joao Pedro and Jackson together. It'll work.
Yeah,
it'll work.
I think it'll work. I think that would work.
Yeah. Right. We'll end this. We'll end the season. We'll end the episode with the streak that Chris is on is going to end today because Quaresma's questions. Lone Army Carousel has got Birth and it's got Ollie.
I don't think I've played Lone Army Carousel in about a year.
No, that's not true, Birth, because you won the first instance of it this season on the 1st of January.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
6 months later and I'm back.
You're back and better than ever. Today's category, it's coming up next week, isn't it? The World Cup. And today I've gone to a different continent. African nations have provided the World Cup with much drama. So much star power, so many iconic names. But I want you to name every country from that continent to have qualified for the tournament. That includes 2026. There is 14 countries to get. And Berth, you are welcomed back onto the show from 1st of January, obviously, when you last played. An African country that's qualified for the World Cup, please.
Senegal.
Senegal have qualified 4 times.
Ghana.
Ghana have qualified 5.
Ivory Coast.
4 times.
South Africa.
4 times.
Cameroon.
Cameroon 8 times. A record for an African nation.
Morocco.
Morocco 7 times.
Algeria.
Algeria 5.
Tunisia.
Tunisia 7.
Cape Verde.
Oh, ho, ho. 1 time. Their debut at the 2026 World Cup.
Egypt.
Egypt 4 times.
Congo. DR Congo, to be
DR
exact.
Congo twice.
Struggling now. Have we
3
said
left.
South Africa?
We have
Yeah,
indeed.
you
I'm
said
pretty
South
sure you
Africa.
said it.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to let you get a knock for that. You're still in it. You got 3 teams to let in that list.
Just think here. I don't know. Angola.
Angola once. 2 teams left.
Ooh.
4.
Right.
Are we going to go to the tiebreaker with 2 countries left?
I'm going to go with Togo.
Once. 1 nation left. Ollie, to take it to a tiebreaker.
I think I know who it is as well.
I'm not sure.
Wow.
Is it? No, we definitely said Morocco.
I can confirm.
Chad.
No, Berth. I'm really shocked. I'm really shocked this country has not been mentioned. I thought it'd be one of the first off the board. Who is it?
Is it Nigeria?
It is indeed. It is
Also,
John Obi
yeah.
Mikel's Nigeria. I'm sure.
Did I not say Nigeria?
No, you did not.
I didn't think Nigeria had been said. Has France been
Wow.
said?
No, France not. Unfortunately, they do not come from the continent of Africa. That is Europe, different continent altogether. So we don't get the tiebreaker. But Berth, you've just took a point. You are now on 2 for the year.
Yes.
Nicely
100%
done.
record, Berth.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Oh, listeners, we are at the end of another episode. Thank you for tuning in. Before we go, please don't forget we are proudly partnered with Head in the Game and mental health charities in football to support wellbeing and community. And of course, you can find out more at headinthegame.co.uk. Treat yourself well. Look after each other. Look after your family. Look after your friends, your colleagues. Just, take care out there. We'll be back on Monday because we've got World Cup predictions. So I've got to find out stuff about what's going on in 2026 that's nothing to do with Denmark because we're not there. But I'm sure that those World Cup predictions will age much better than our Premier League pre-season predictions. We hope.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes. I saw. Are you doing sweepstakes in any of your respective jobs? Because I saw one of my.
Yes, I am.
One of my friends picked out. They get it was like £75 for first winners set, and then £50 for runners up, and third got 25. They got South Korea, and they were not very happy. And I'm like, you never know. Look, South Korea made it to the semis of 2002?
Yeah, didn't they played Japan? Or was that no? They hosted it with Japan, didn't they?
They did, yeah. So you never know. You never know who could surprise us. But until then, that'll be us signing off. You've been listening to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At the Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.